your breath has so much to do with your health and your well-being and your energy levels, and how with this simple practices, you can actually enhance the quality of your life and wellness. So I welcome each one of you for this session. Since it's a workshop on the breath, let's start by focusing our attention on the breathing to begin with. So I want you all to sit comfortably with your back straight. See how much tension we mostly hold in our neck and shoulders with our daily work. So try to bring your awareness on your shoulders and your neck region. Now gently close your eyes. And scan your body now from the tip of your toes to the top of your head. If you're holding any tension in any body part, then try to release that tension completely. And now you all can bring your awareness onto your breathing. No need to change how you're breathing, just observe it. Observe the rhythmic flow of your breath flowing in and out. Now slowly rubbing your hands together. Feel the warmth that you feel in your palms. And bring this prana, this warmth on your face. You can cup your eyes if you like. Massage your face gently and slowly open your eyes. Nice. Okay, something very nice about the breath that I want to share right at the beginning. You all observed your breath wonderfully right now, correct? So breath is like a small child. And I'm going to give you an example of this. So mainly when you see a child misbehaving or doing some naughty things, which they should be doing, of course, to celebrate their childhood. And what do you do as a parent? I mean, do we have any parents here of a toddler or anywhere between 5 to 10 or something? Anyone here? Can raise your hand or put in the chat box. Yes, anyone? Okay, Vivekji, do you want to share with us? Sometimes, does it work when you just give a stern look to your child? And the child understands that, oh, I should not be, 16 years, okay. Somebody said 16 years, okay. But just a stern look can work sometimes, yes? Does it work? At least in the beginning, little bit. And they understand that, oh, I have to stop doing what am I doing, right? Correct. So Aditya ji is saying correct. So breath is something like this, a secret. If you understand the secret at the beginning of the class, trust me, you're going to correct your breath in like next 5 minutes immediately. So our breath is actually like that child, which is waiting for our attention in a way. Our breath is actually waiting for our attention. So the moment we give attention to our child or our breath, immediately the breath is going to correct itself. So breath, all it needs is your attention and awareness. All the techniques are there, which we are going to share with you. Breathing practices, cleansing techniques via breath, it's there. But the foundation is to correct your breathing, to observe your breathing. The moment you start doing that, naturally the breath is going to go really great. Okay. So today we are going to discuss some of the amazing concepts of prana, and also we are going to discuss how the breath works and its ways and why we breathe the way we breathe, wrong breathing, right breathing, and its managing. We are going to self-correct our breath today itself in the first session, so that whatever we learn in the future sessions is based on the correct foundation. So we're going to also learn the correct ways of breathing, how to correct your wrong breathing, and some important guidelines of doing pranayam practices. Okay. So whatever I'm sharing actually is basically coming from the authentic texts of yoga, and where all the pranayam practices are mentioned. But some of them, due to the modern lifestyle, some of them are modifications of expanding our lung capacity. Whatever straightaway practices are mentioned in the yoga text may not be suitable for us to jump into it directly. So we are going to do some lung enhancing practices too before we jump into actual pranayam, and build up our base in such a systematic way that after this course, whoever is attending the full course, after this course, you will have a systematic pattern to your practice and a great discipline that you will miss pranayam if you don't do it for a day. So that's how we are going to build up a nice routine for yourself. Okay. So let's discuss on the concept of prana now, and why we are discussing prana so much in the breath class. Okay. So prana, you all have heard this word? Yes, please put Y in the chat box if you all have heard this word of prana somewhere, somehow. Or you can just raise your hand if you are unable to put in the chat box. Okay, yes. Okay, yes. Perfect. Okay. Now comes a tough question to you, since you all have heard about it. What is prana? Okay, Kuntalji wants to share. Yes, please.
Okay. What I understand, pran is the cosmic energy which we are taking through the breath inside.
Very nice.
Our
Very
body.
nice. Life air. Yeah, I'm getting many things here also on the chat box. So everybody, all of you are giving me amazing answers. Correct, Kuntalji. Thank you so much for your input here. Okay. Can we see prana? Yes or no? Put in the chat box. No. Still, we have all the faith in it. Are you sure? You all are saying, yes, I know what is prana. We take some life force inside, blah, blah, blah. Are you sure? Are you convinced about it still? Okay. Yes, Kuntalji. Again, another, I think Kuntalji will win the student of the class today for giving all the right answers. Yes, we can't see the prana as such, at least with our eyes, but unless and until, there are some scientific devices used, still we can only see colors. We can't see actual prana because it's subtle, right? But we can feel it. And how do we feel it? See, imagine you are entering in some house. If you are aware, and if you are actually even meditating a little bit, or your subtle psychologies are more developed, you will really sense something either positive or negative, in the presence of few people, or when you walk in some house. So that is the energy of that house, energy of people, places, everything gives energy because it's made up of, different levels of prana inside. So we feel prana. Okay, so as many of you answered correctly, yes, it's a life force, vital force, energy is what, these are some synonyms, what we use for the Sanskrit word prana shakti, prana. And it is everywhere. Some of you said life forces in the body. That is correct, Radhika ji, but also we have this prana everywhere. In the entire universe is pervading this prana. But we all are born with certain amount of prana, and that differs to our karmas, our place of birth, and lots to do with our own biological makeup. So we all are born with certain amount of prana also. Our activities determine whether we are conserving and taking in more prana inside, or we are wasting more prana. So our activities determine how much prana we are usually having. So basically, I also call this workshop usually as prana enhancing techniques also, and not just pranayam, because all we are doing is enhancing our prana, preserving the prana quota that we have inside of us. So we all have prana inside, and our activities are going to determine. Okay. So prana travels in our body through the channels called as nadi. Okay. So just for those who don't know this concept, little subtle now. Something like, okay, aeroplane. We see the aeroplane travels in the sky, right? All of us have seen it. Even if you have not sat inside the one still, no problem, but I'm sure you have seen the aeroplane. So, do you see a road in the sky? No, right? But does it mean that the aeroplane is traveling randomly in the sky? No, otherwise all flights will land up in the sea or a land with accident, right? It has a specific routes. This exactly now I am sure you'll understand. This is how our prana is traveling in our body. So there are specific channels and nadis in the body. Nadi, if I have to also use this word in Sanskrit, nadi, river. So it's like, the prana is flowing in these different rivers and reservoirs that we have inside of us. In Chinese medicine, this is referred to as meridians. So anybody who has some background of acupuncture or acupressure would know what this means. There are pressure points. These points are exactly where these nadis are, and that's where they press and some energy flow is activated. Now, why are we even discussing this prana concept? Because the problem is prana has to be flowing in the body very nicely throughout. And then that is a sign of a person who is energetic, full of life, enthusiastic, and doing things wonderfully in day-to-day life and away from disease. However, when there are blockages in our nadis, and what are these blockages now? These blockages are our past life blockages sometimes in the present life when we are fearful about certain things in life. We are just fearing our future, or we are fearful of security, or we are fearful of facing some situation, or we are anxious about certain things. So when we develop these feelings in our day-to-day life, even a small doorbell sometimes, or a phone call or an email that is not expected and we have to do something and we haven't done yet, then that creates that kind of, do you all get sometimes butterfly in the belly, or of fear and anxiety, suddenly something happening? This, I don't know, flutter feeling in the belly, that can also create a blockage, actually, even that feeling that we get. So it's not that our life will be free of blockages, but we have to constantly keep on removing those blockages. So what are the nature of blockages? They are physical blockages, emotional blockages, or mental blockages. Can be anything to do with our day-to-day life. Okay. Yes, Kuntal says I felt during exams. So even I did. or you're just fearful about something that is going to happen, a big event in your life, whether it's a positive event or a negative event, whatever it is has happened, it creates some kind of obstruction, and that is the reason the prana does not flow properly. And wherever the prana gets stagnated in the body, that is a place where we develop some disease through that area, radiating from that area. And that is why, as an alternative therapy and healing, if your prana shakti is wonderfully flowing, you have 100% chances to heal yourself from every lifestyle disease that we have got into us. How many of you are here currently signed up here in the course or during this first class, want to heal yourself and are suffering from some disease? So type yes, or if you want, you can also put the name of that disease or condition. So let me know. Put in the chat box here that yes, you are here to heal yourself, and what is the condition that you have. Diabetes, okay. Looks like rest all are super healthy. Okay, so you're okay. I think some of you are putting long list of diseases. Hypertension, yes. Okay. Many are coming up on my personal chat as well. Acidity, yes. Okay, great. What if I tell you now that if you just work on your prana, you can actually heal yourself? So this is what we are going to get from today's class and our upcoming classes. You're going to learn to channelize your prana in the right way. You're going to clean your nadis through pranayam practices and some breath work that we are going to do. Yes. So everything, whether it's a physical disease or a mental disease, it is definitely connected with your prana shakti as well. And in our upcoming classes, which are scheduled for those who sign up for the program, uh, it is very different. We are just not going to teach you practices which you can easily get from YouTube nowadays. No problem. But so much of confusion is there that, my God, what do I, is this the right way or shall I practice this? What is the sequence of it? So we are not just going to demonstrate the practices, which is of course a very important part, which is going to help you. But my every class will be there with a theory. You have to know why you are doing what you are doing and what is the science behind it. I know it might be boring for some of you who are just looking for practice, but I personally feel that when you have the background of every practice and when you understand the science of how the practice is working on you, trust me, you're going to continue your practice. But if I mechanically tell you that, okay, hold your nose and breathe in, you will say, it's so boring, man. I just can't do it every day. It's just like, my back is paining, my knee is paining, I can't do it. So that is one USP of, what you're going to get. You're going to get theory and also how you're going to channelize your practice in the right direction for enhancing prana, right? And second thing, we are also going to do some simple physical exercises so that your lung capacity is increased. Because if I bombard you with some pranayam practices, you will get tired mentally, emotionally, physically. You might have some negative effects of it. Instead of feeling fresh, better, and lighter, you might end up feeling painful, exhausted, and irritable. These are some of the negative symptoms of when we start doing pranayam. So if the body is not prepared, if lung capacity is not developed sufficiently, and if we start doing pranayam, then it is of no use. And that is why you're also going to get some of the physical exercises that we're going to do in every session, and plus some of the theory. And that is what I'm discussing today about prana shakti. So I was at the blockages. So what does this pranayam and breathwork practices do is they gradually help in releasing those blockages where prana can flow fully. Okay. Now, scientifically, what science can see or scientists can see is our physical body, max to maximum. So they can exactly tell you that how the lungs are working, how the heart is working, how the stomach is working, how are the internal organs working, and how the body is functioning basically. But beyond this, what science might not see because we don't have those subtle eyes for it yet, or we can't research much, is who is helping those organs to function optimally are these different pranas that we have in the body. Now, when I say different pranas, don't get confused. Prana is one big prana. But because this same prana shakti does different functions on the upper region of the body, chest region of the body, belly region, downwards, because it functions at different places and on different organs, they are referred to as with different names. For example, Samana Pran works in the belly, Apana Pran works on the lower regions. There are some of the pranas. So all these things we will be covering up later in detail, where we want to heal our different organs and we know on what prana we have to work more. So this is how prana is in the background, if I have to say scientifically, that if my cells know what to do and if my organ know what to do, then definitely there's a Shakti working behind it. And that is our prana Shakti. When that goes weaker, then the healing does not happen. Then what we happens is scientifically we go to doctors, we start popping pills. When we stop pills, we still don't get better because we are not dealing with the root cause of the problem. And a single concept of proper breathing can have tremendous benefit on your healing. And this is what I am passionate to share with all of you, that just if you correct your breathing and do some breath exercises every day, you are going to see some miraculous transformation in your whole life and in your wellness. Okay, so we're going to, for this course, this particular course, our theme will be breath. Our theme will be breath, but definitely I never like to leave you alone. I might as well end up giving you a lot of other advices on diet and also exercises. But main theme is going to be the breath, because we are channelizing, cleansing the nadis and working on our prana through our breathing. It's a wonderful link that we have. So I got some amazing right answers about what is prana. So all of you know. Now, come on, please tell me from your knowledge, whatever you know, what are the sources of prana? How can we get prana in the body? Before that, I would like to tell you that prana is not just something like, oxygen. It is much more than that. It's a Shakti, as I said. So before answering, just keep in mind that it's not just about taking oxygen. Yes, breath. Very good, Abhishek Saravji. Food. Food, 5 elements. Yes, correct. Sun, Vivekji. Perfect. Sun. Air, sun, food. Perfect. Very good. Very nice. Okay, this is what I was looking for. Okay. So externally, we can get prana through all of these things. And prana is also inside of our body, which needs conservation and channelization through various practices. Okay. So prana word sometimes sounds very mystical, that what is this prana shakti and prana? But we can just refer to it as our energy levels, or that energy which supports the physiology of the body. Okay. So I hope you, okay. Abhishek is saying, call me Abhishek Ji. I'm just used to sometimes I might end up calling you Abhishek. Sometimes I might call you Ji. So anything. Okay. In the flow of my teaching, I sometimes even somebody's golden age and I end up calling them by their name in my excitement. So that all depends on my prana level. Okay. Let's talk something about breath now. Very interesting. Let's start loving our breath from today by understanding it more. Okay. I'm going to give you a small task now. Sanjota ji, Kuntal ji, Radhika ji, Ekendra Vasumati ji, Smita ji, Abhishek, not Ji, Aditya ji, Vivek ji, Prachi, Sangita, Kirti, see now I've removed Ji, Ankur ji, Radhika ji, Dharma ji, Dipal, HK, Sushma, Niranjana, Ritvika, Aditya, Preeti, Venkatesh, Shiv Kumar ji, one name I'm missing it. Please tell me, all of you, are you breathing right now? What kind of a question is this? I wasted my 2 minutes by chanting all the names of all of you, and what a foolish question. Okay, of course you all are breathing. No brainer. You all are breathing, of course. But now I'm going to ask, okay, everybody says yes. Perfect. Now tell me, can you just hold your breath for 4 seconds? Please do that. Am I audible now? I was told that is good. Am I audible? Say thumbs up if I am. Okay, good. Okay. Can you hold for 2 seconds? Just your breath, all of you? Easy. 2 seconds is easy for all. Right? Okay. Now, can you take a deep breath in and breathe out? Okay. Now, can you take a fast breath in and fast breathing out? How many of you were able to do it? All of that? Yes? Put yes in the chat box. Good. Super. Okay. But are you breathing right now after finishing this practice? Still answer is yes, correct? Okay. Now, your breathing is going on its own even while you are listening to me, hopefully, and not, the here and there. So if you're listening to me, you're multitasking, you're still breathing, right? But I asked you to change your breath, but you still could do it. Okay. Is your heart beating? Yes. Can you please stop your heartbeat, please? Come on. You could do it with your breath. You're still breathing, but you could change the breath. Okay. Are your lungs functioning right now? Hopefully, yes. Can you ask your lungs to take a break for 2-3 minutes? Or 2 seconds, chalo. Forget about 2. Even heartbeat, can you stop it for 5 seconds? No. Is your body digesting your breakfast right now? Or your early lunch? Yes. Can you please stop your digestion for a few seconds? No. Do you now value your breath more? Why? Because it's an amazing God-given phenomena to us, which straddles the border of involuntary nervous system and voluntary nervous system. This miracle is only happening with the breath. You don't care, but you're still breathing. But when you care, you can breathe systematically also. So breath is an amazing tool by which we can access the involuntary functions of the body and make them better, because it is contributing to both the areas. Involuntary, it's happening right now, you are breathing, and voluntary also we can do some pranayam and breathing work. So that way, because it straddles the border of our nervous system, which is volunteer and involuntary, various aspects of mind which we cannot access otherwise, and various aspects of our physical being, of our different functions in the body which we can't access otherwise, we can use breath as a tool and can really make some changes in our body as well, and as well as in the mind, of course. So basically, it's like an amazing physiological reality that we have, that okay, I can breathe in a different way, but I can also, otherwise I'm also breathing involuntary. So that is why we are gifted with this amazing phenomena, which is a medium of our pranic energy. Breath is an amazing medium of our pranic energy. So to enhance it, we are using it quite often. Okay. Another wonderful aspect of breath, that it is a wonderful body-mind connection. Okay. And we are going to prove it now. You are going to prove it to me. Do you think your body, mind, and breath are connected? Put yes or no in the chat box, whatever you think. Yes. Please be careful whoever is saying yes. Next question is going to come where you have to prove it to me. How? Okay, so for all those people who have enthusiastically put yes in the chat box, how do you say yes? On what basis are you saying yes that they are connected? Come on. You can also, if anybody wants to unmute, you can raise your hand and I can unmute you also. They are interdependent. Okay, but I need more day-to-day life example, that how are they connected? Okay, Sushma ji, I would unmute you. Please tell us, all of us, enlighten us how they are connected.
Yeah, with simple example, we can explain, like when we are calm and our breath is slow and deep, and when we are doing any exercise or when we are angry, so then you can watch your breath. It is slow and fast, like
Absolutely
fast.
right. Very good. Okay.
And
HKG is saying that when we get same answer from Sushma ji, physiologically excited, breathing becomes faster. This was very much the example in my mind also to give you all. Also, Sanjada ji says breathing pattern changes with physical and mental activity. Absolutely right. Vivek ji also, due to conscious breathing, they are connected. So how? Let's evaluate this example of anger now. Okay. Anger is a mental phenomena. Anger arises in the mind. Yeah, it's something to do with your mind and emotions. So, and if you become angry, tell me what happens to your breathing. Most likely it is faster or erratic. Erratic means you don't know what's happening. When are you breathing? When are you exhaling? How much you are inhaling, exhaling? There is no ratio or no equanimity to it. It's like just happening. There is no equilibrium to it. You are inhaling, exhaling rapidly, randomly, haphazard way, right? This is what happens when you're in stress, anger, right? What happens to your physical body also? I know many people chewing their teeth or making a fist, become red. And another phenomena, very important, heartbeat becomes faster. Have you noticed when you're yelling, shouting, or you're angry? Heartbeat becomes faster, and breath also, for that matter, becomes very fast. So these are certain things that can happen to your breath when your emotions are also a little haywire. Okay. So you see how something arising in the mind can affect your breath and can affect your physical body, right? And this concept is also very much mentioned in some of the texts of yoga, and especially the text which calls for Panchakosha concept. It says that the disease, Vyadhi disease arises first in the mind. Okay, at the Manomai level, Manomai Kosha. Because the Panchakosha concept says that we are not just body. And I know many of you from spiritual background will have an answer that, yes, I know we are not this body, we are soul, right? Many of you might be knowing it. But there is a big journey in between that we have to cover up to understand, not just intellectually, but out of realization, we understand that we are not this body just, but we have energy body also, which is more deeper than physical body. Then we have mental body, then we have intellect body, then we have bliss body. So like that, we have this concept will be discussed in more detail in our upcoming classes. But just for now, understand that we are not just physical body. So if some thought comes to me mentally and if it affects my energy body and my physical body, energy body, I'm referring to prana and breath right now, and physical body, which we all can see. So if something arising like anger, stress, sadness in the mind, right? From mind, it affects my energy body, from energy body, my physical body. Everybody clear till here? Now, if this can happen, which proves something to us that they are all are interconnected and interdependent on each other. So if I work on my mental body and physical body, mental body and energy body, obviously my physical body is also going to get benefited. And this is where yogic therapy and pranayam, everything works with the patients also who are struggling with some disease or want to get out of it. Okay. What happens with, I'm not against doctors, I'm not against them. They don't have time. We have keeping them so busy. They don't have time to give you holistic advices. It's not their fault. Maybe somewhere down the line, they're also convinced that the mental and emotional health of the patient will help them recover physically also. How many are doctors here? Okay, Sanjata ji, yes, I know you. So purposely I said I'm not against doctors. Okay. Tell me, do you believe, honestly, I know you might not have time to give holistic advices to your patients, but tell me, do you believe that as a doctor, so much into science, do you believe that for holistic understanding and health of your patients, their emotional and mental health is very much important, and those who have fit mind, they become better first? Do you believe that?
Yes, definitely.
Yes. So
Yes.
see, as a doctor, or every doctor, I have doctors in my family also. So they definitely feel that yes, when you can actually see that when some patient is more positive, is doing also some other holistic, yoga practices, pranayam, there are chances that they can get better also. Smita ji is also a doctor. So Smita ji, do you also believe that? Yeah, that patient who are with more better mental health or try to work on their mental health also and emotional health, they get physically better. Now, what happens? What is the drawback of science when it comes to healing, modern medicine? Is it's like popping pills and getting better with some symptoms, but it is not a healing at a deeper level. Okay, when it comes to yoga therapy or healing through your breath, it has so much to do to work on all the layers of our existence and not just physical body. Medicines are only working on the physical body, which are very much required. I'm not saying that when you meet with an accident, you have infections, nothing to do with the koshas here, you have to go to a doctor and get the job done. But I'm talking here about a lot of lifestyle diseases. Lifestyle diseases definitely require holistic healing lenses. It cannot be cured only with medications. Your symptoms will get better, but the condition is never going to go. And that is why we have to heal all the layers of our existence, which is healing and nourishing our physical body, healing and nourishing and conserving our pranic body, which is next. And the third is our mind. So when these three come in picture together for healing, then you will see miracles happening. And that is the goal of this program. So through breath work and through some mental affirmations and some simple physical exercises, of course, we have dedicated yoga too. But for now, since it's more about pranayama, we'll have simple physical practices, some breath work and mental exercises too, mental housekeeping, as I like to call it. When these three combine together, miracles can happen in terms of your healing. And we have got so many case studies now of our own students who had thyroid and blood pressure, and how it has got, they have come to a less medication to no medication also, many of them. So this can happen when you are doing your practice systematically, because breath is a bridge between your body and your mind. Okay, I'm going to ask you a fantastic question. I don't know how many men would have done that, but if not, you do it today. I'm sure all the women in this class might have tried it. How many of you have tried to put a thread in the pinhole for stitching? Such a tough job, right? How many of you have done that? Most of you. Okay, me. Okay, I am. Even if some men has done that, fantastic, nothing like it. So what happens at that time? If you want to still try it today, you do it after the class as a homework and to understand what I'm saying. At that particular time, your physical body, that action, your breath stops for a few seconds. The moment it's happening, the moment you think, okay, now the thread is going to go into that pinhole, and also you are not thinking about future or past. You're so focused for that few fraction of second. Actually, that state, when we elongate, that we want that state, like, minimum thoughts, complete amalgamation of physical body, breath and mind. When that state is there, amazing pranic shakti arises and amalgamates in the body and goes towards healing. That's what we want. So this state, which also proves that how our breath, body and mind are so much connected when we are doing some task with a great focus. Okay. So basically, breath is a bridge between our body and mind. So it has the capacity to heal the both. Because some of you wrote in the group that we are suffering with some mental illness, depression, anxiety, and some of you said diabetes, hypertension, acidity, etc. So you see, breath is a bridge between body and mind. It has the capacity and power to nourish both the layers and vice versa as well. Okay. Now let's understand our how the breath works. Okay. Mostly nowadays, we are not breathing right, all of us. And there are some valid reasons for it. There are many reasons, but we can narrow it down to main 4 reasons. So you can remember that. Due to modern technology now, we don't have much need for physical activities. Previously, in maybe even our mothers, grandmothers, they would do a lot of physical work. And naturally, when you do a lot of physical work, you have to end up breathing deeply, fully, to get that energy for the work. But now, due to modern age, with our lifestyles, we have modern technology. There's a reduced need of physical activities. And that's why we are not utilizing the full capacity of our lungs and not breathing fully. There is no need. We are mostly sedentary life, right? Second reason is thanks to modern technology, which gives us impatience and everything we need fast, God knows what, but we succumb to emotional outburst very soon nowadays. Do you all agree? Say yes if you agree. Do you all, like, I am at a middle age right now. I am seeing some of you senior to me. So maybe you can criticize us, or maybe you can compare yourself to others, but tell me, I at least feel that my mother and grandmother definitely had 1,000 times more patience than what I have. Even if I'm a yoga teacher, let me confess this. Right? Radhika ji is like fully sin. Yes, that's right. Yeah. So you can refer to yourself, or you can refer to the generation that you're watching in front of you or whatever. But still, if you compare, then definitely we succumb to emotional outbursts very soon. Succumbing to emotional outbursts means crying often, getting angry often, getting irritated often, getting anxious often. All these emotions are constantly happening with us, and that keeps altering our breath a lot. And this constant alteration is not giving us prana then, because breath is constantly, irritated and erratic. That is the reason. Okay. Third practical reason for all of us is, thanks to COVID, all the more, we all have sedentary jobs anyways we had, and in a closed atmosphere, maybe just at home or maybe in the AC offices. So we are not getting fresh air to breathe in, and in that closed air, the breath is not happening properly. And the fourth is, which is scientific in nature, body has this amazing mechanism, self-defense mechanism, where if it has lot of pollution around, the lungs will not be utilized fully. We will not breathe in fully and deeply naturally. That happens. That is a natural thing. And that is none of your fault now, because if the atmosphere is very polluted in the cities, we will not breathe in fully. And that is the reason why we are not exchanging the gases properly also. And we want to protect. Basically, the point is we want to protect our lungs. We don't want to inhale the dirty air, so we don't breathe in properly. These are the main 4 reasons why, how we are breathing nowadays. And what is the outcome of this? What are we getting out of these 4 points of, whatever situation is currently is? Our breath is shallow, rapid, erratic, or restricted. Okay. And because of this, what is the result of it? We have insufficient intake of oxygen and improper elimination of carbon dioxide. This is very common. And trust me, this one aspect, this one point can bring you with host of diseases, list of diseases. I'm not going to name them now, but precisely when you have insufficient intake of oxygen in the body, which is also bringing in prana along with it, of course, and improper elimination of CO2, carbon dioxide. Okay, the detoxing is not happening properly. And that is why our body is starving. Our bodies are starving. It has no prana. It has no proper gaseous exchange happening. And toxins are built up in the body because proper elimination is not happening. And because of that, all the physical tensions that you might feel, this ache, that ache, shoulder pain quickly, neck pain, back pain, even your tests come normal most of the times. How many of you sometimes feel that everything is okay, but I still keep getting this aches and pains? I have so many people who actually come up with this. And this is where it's time to work on the energy levels actually, and prana and breath. Okay. So all the physical tension, reduced vitality, reduced energy levels, lot of emotional instability, reduced energy levels, poor immune system. And gradually, poor immune system will lead to host of diseases, right? To respiratory tract, digestive organs, you just name them. Even mental health is at cost. So just when we don't inhale and exhale properly, we are losing a lot. Okay. So how do we breathe normally in such situations? Because of all these factors, again, 4 types are there. Okay. Either you are breathing very shallow, you're a high breathing. So now I want all of you to kind of, when I say these types, you have to take it like a homework for yourself and see what kind of a breather you are. Okay. So I want you to close your eyes and just observe your breath for next half a minute. You don't have to change it. Just observe. Okay, open your eyes. Now I'm going to go ahead and tell you the types of breathing. You can cover it up. Which breather are you? So some of us are shallow breathers or high breathers. We only breathe in through the upper part of the chest and lungs, only, not deeper. We are done. Like we raise our, clavicular region up and that's it. High breathing. This is a trademark of stress, which means that most likely we take up stress easily. We are very sensitive to any stressful atmosphere and we breathe like this. Okay. This is one. Second is reverse breathing. Okay. Now, reverse breathing is definitely contrary to the natural flow of the body and the breath. So if you're breathing in and if your belly goes in, if you're breathing in and your belly goes in, I hope you have observed that when you are doing the deep breathing, then you are a reverse breather. Ideally, when we breathe in, the belly should come out. And when you breathe out, the belly goes inside. Like a balloon. Imagine a balloon here. Then when you blow air into the balloon, what happens? Balloon gets bigger. When the air is removed, the balloon gets smaller. Same, you should visualize yourself like a balloon, your belly, and then when you breathe in. For many of us, it's ulta. It's reverse completely. And reverse breathing is born out of, in the subtle emotions, if I have to talk about, it's a sign of anxiety and fear. It's a reverse breathing. So some of us can be reverse breathers here. Third type is curtailed exhalation. Curtailed exhalations means somehow we are breathing in, okay, but breathing out is always shorter, very short. It should be in fact longer, but what to speak of longer, it is even like not up to the mark. It is like half the way. Or like I breathe in deeply and breathing out happens, God knows when on its own. I don't even know how. But breathing out is very important because breathing out is actually discarding the impurities and toxins from the body. So if you don't breathe out properly, also you develop a lot of toxins and impurities, which leads to host of diseases and depleted energy. So breathing out. So this is a curtailed exhalation. Some of you can have curtailed exhalations too. And fourth is interesting and amazing. It is Slimmer's breath. Slimmer's breath. We are habituated. See, most of us, if by through our lifestyle, age, or whatever reasons, we have put on some weight in the belly region and we are not liking it. And what we end up doing is we suck the belly in most of the times with a hope that I don't look fat, my belly doesn't look much, or my belly will go inside. But that's a very, very wrong way of breathing. Okay. We don't have to suck our belly inside. It's a very bad habit that can actually even have problem with our back. Lower back pain can start for some of you. You will be thinking, I don't do anything wrong. Why am I having a back pain? It's not good for your lower back. At the same time, it's not good for the gaseous exchange. So Slimmer's breath is where you want to look slim artificially and suck the belly in, and you are holding the abdominal muscles basically in a not systematic way. There are ways of holding the breath in yoga, but breathing like that casually without understanding properly is very hazardous. So these are the 4 reasons how we usually breathe. So now let's understand in last few minutes that we have, what is the way of correcting our breath then? If some of you are falling into the category, yeah, I'm sure most of you have never even observed your breath. So you might say that I need a little more time to think, who am I? Am I a shallow breather, reverse breather, or don't I exhale properly? So of course, take that time nicely. But still, before even that, let us understand the solution. The simple solution is conscious breathing. At least, if not whole day, then some time of the days in between, we have to practice conscious breathing. And conscious breathing practice off the mat, on the mat for some time can also make your breathing right throughout the day then. Okay. The way we take a correct diet for our nutritional needs. If we are doing correct breathing, then we are getting lot of prana and vital energy inside of us. Okay. So these are some of the ways of correcting your breath naturally. Okay. And we have this systematic approach to start learning pranayam. And that's why I'm discussing this. What if I start teaching you pranayam today itself or in the next session, but your breathing is not corrected only? Then what are you doing is you are building everything on the wrong foundation. Your breath is still improper, curtailed, reversed, and still you're doing every pranayam and thinking that it's okay. I don't know whether it's working or not. So this is the reason I want that whoever comes for this entire course needs to find the benefit of it at the end, not because I am a teacher, but because these practices are authentic. Okay. But if the base is wrong, if your breathing pattern is wrong, which this is the missing link I find in most of the yoga programs or YouTube videos. I'm not against them, even we make it. But what I find is nobody speaks about correcting the breath. Everybody starts teaching Kapalbhati, Bhastrika, how to do, what to do, and we start pumping, and then we think, कुछ मेरा तो पेट कम नहीं हो रहा है. God knows इनका कैसे हो जाता है. But they are working a lot in their background with many things, but they are presenting you with half knowledge sometimes. Correcting breath is equally and the most important step. And that's where we are going to invest most of the time. And it has a lot of benefits too. So what is the systematic approach that we're going to take from today onwards for the course is we're going to first observe our normal breathing every time as we start the class. And even I would recommend you to do so even off the class when you're not in the class. Observe the normal breathing first. Second step is identify the wrong breath. So I want you all to note this down. So first, observe your normal breathing. This has to be a homework, on and off. Every time you get little time, start doing this. Observe your normal breathing, number 1. Number 2, identify the wrong breath and correct the breathing. Now let's work on how to correct the breathing. There's a self-correction technique in lying down position. Okay. So when you lie down, you have to now place your one hand on the belly and one hand on the chest. This can be done in sitting position also, but as a beginner, this becomes more better in the lying down position. So I want all of you to lie down now, wherever you are, no matter, you don't need any special arrangement. Wherever you are, just lie down on your back in Shavasana. This simple practice has a lot of benefit. So after this, I'm going to tell you that forget about advanced pranayam. Even if this simple thing that you do every day, I'm going to read out the benefits and you'll be amazed. So please do it with all your heart and devotion. Lie down, okay? Now we're going to do a complete yogic 3-part sectional breathing, okay? So bring your left palm on the belly and right palm on the chest. So what are the 3 parts here that we are talking about is your belly, upper and lower chest, third is your nostril region or the clavicular, above the throat basically. We want the breath to be utilized fully till your abdomen. So belly, upper and lower chest, and clavicular, throat and nose region. Third. Now what I want you to do is first just observe your normal breath and see how much you are able to utilize these 3 parts. Normal breath. You don't have to change it right now. Just see whether you're not able to reach till your chest. Just observe. Self-awareness is very important for your breath. Just observe. Okay, now we will do the deep conscious breathing practice, which is an act of correcting our breath, whatever it is, turtle exhalation, reverse breather, high breathing. So we are just going to correct the breath. Okay. So now you're going to inhale deeply and see your abdomen rise. You're going to breathe in such a way that you can literally feel the lift of your left hand. You can see the chest expanding and see the movement of the right hand. And you feel something right in your throat till your nostril. And exhale, reverse. Let slowly all the parts release down. Again, take a deep breath in, abdomen out, chest expands, feel the breath through your nostrils. Exhaling, relax your throat, chest and abdomen. Once more, inhale deeply. Observe all the 3 parts. And exhale, relax. Continue one more round and then we will do guided with numbers. Now exhale and I will count 4 for inhalation and exhalation. Try to follow it. If not, you can follow your own count. No problem. Don't push yourself today. Just first day. Let's try to inhale in 4 and exhale in 4. Let's try to equalize. Now exhale completely. And inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Last round. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Relax. Bring your arms to the sides. Just again observe your natural breathing for the next few seconds, still keeping your eyes closed. Keeping your awareness completely on your breath in the present moment. Now slowly turn to your right side. Make a pillow with your right arm. Stay there for a few seconds. And slowly coming up to a seated position. And now you can slowly take the support of your hand if you like and come up to a seated position. Open your eyes, relax. Very nice. Even this simple practice can really make us feel relaxed and bring us in the present moment. Now, I want to share with you some of the benefits of this simple practice. Forget about pranayam, which is yet, we are yet to do it actually. This is not a pranayam. This is just a pre-pranayam corrections happening still. But this also has host of benefits. It helps in flushing out the toxins from the body when we do this practice on a regular basis. So it's like a detoxing breath, when we try to improve on our exhalations longer. Your lungs can become more elastic and stronger when you do this systematic breathing properly. And relaxation breath like this always makes our heart very happy because it gives it little rest from the normal day-to-day, fast dynamic activities that we are doing. So very good for heart. And the way, if you're systematically seeing how the belly is coming up and down with every breath, did it happen to most of you? Then that is actually giving massage to your intra-abdominal organs also. And it can improve the efficiency of all the organs that are present there. Okay. And overall, it improves your nervous system and endocrine system as well. Okay. And obviously, when we are breathing in and out properly, we have proper and increased oxygenation of the lungs. So overall, energy levels will be improved, and we get something that nowadays in today's life we are missing the most is relaxation. Stimulus to our parasympathetic nervous system. There's a great benefit to our parasympathetic nervous system. I'm going to explain this in detail in one of our theory classes, in upcoming classes, that why we need to work on arousing our parasympathetic nervous system more over sympathetic nervous system. For those who are super confused, hold on, no problem. We're going to discuss what these functions are in our next classes and how breathing is helping, how exhalation and inhalations are helping to activate this, and why working on this is extremely important. But this simple deep conscious breathing also is actually helping us to stimulate our parasympathetic nervous system, which helps us in relaxing deeper. Okay. So these are some of there are more benefits, of course, but these are some of the host of benefits that we get by this simple practice of lying down in Shavasana. Was there any hard work here? No. Very super easy practice. In fact, people appreciate this. Wow, nothing to do, just breathe in and out. This is needed. We are so much in the fast paced life right now that just doing this for a few seconds, this is my mantra, to be honest. When I am rushing around, doing things, and when I feel a little mentally and physically overwhelmed, what usually happens with all of us when we are physically and mentally overwhelmed, we get irritated on things and people around us. There's a common thing that everyone does. We either get irritated or we just collapse. We are not capable of doing the next task. But taking a systematic break and even doing this is my favorite thing to do. When I feel I have lots to do and lot I have already done and still more to go, I'm like, okay, let's take a break. Then I lie down and I start focusing exactly how you all were doing right now on this conscious breathing. And I feel more composed and ready for the next task. If I have no time for longer relaxation, if I have time for longer relaxation, Yoga Nidra works the best. But otherwise, even this breathing is fantastic. So this can be your breaker of the day, when you're overwhelmed in half a day or that you have lots to do, you can definitely, even in sitting position, for some of you are working in the offices, you don't have scope to lie down. You can close your eyes, shut down all the devices for a few seconds, few minutes, and do this. And you have amazing, recharging happening of your body super fast, physically as well as mentally, especially. Okay. So I'm going to share now some of the sequences, that how one should be sequencing the practice and what are you going to learn in this entire course. Okay, is what I'm going to share now. And definitely in our upcoming classes, I'm going to tell you the guidelines, that what are the guidelines which we have to strictly follow when we start our breathing practices. There are a list of guidelines that are really important. And this is the missing link where many of us start breathing practices, but we are not able to continue it, or we don't get any benefit from it, or we don't have any therapy happening. We don't heal ourselves to breathing because we don't follow some of the guidelines. So this is something we will be sharing it in the upcoming classes. And sequencing, what are we going to learn? How are you going to put it whole practice? We are going to do some lung expanding and chest opening practices, physical practices, which are very easy in nature. So even anyone who has spondylitis or back pain or any other disorder which you're worried about, no heart problem, no problem. If they're so easy to follow and do that, everybody with whatever background you have right now with any therapy needs, you will be able to do it. And there are some modifications that we'll be offering. So these are all lung expanding and chest opening practices, which are important physical exercises or some of the asanas that we will be doing in every session. Okay, followed by some of the grounding practices. We will be stabilizing our body, breath and mind. So small meditation is what we'll be doing regularly, because it's important to bring ourselves in the present moment. So every time, this is a sequence we'll be going in, some grounding activities, some meditation in the beginning, in the end. Okay. Then we will be doing some pre-pranayam practices. We will be still not jumping directly in every class into pranayam practices. We'll be working on a lot of pre-pranayam practices because of the common complaints that I get from people who start their pranayam watching some videos that my one nostril is not proper. I can't breathe in out through one nostril. I feel suffocated. I feel overwhelmed. I feel exhausted. So I get this common complaint. So that is the reason why we have designed this course in a systematic way, that you will learn some pranayam practices where we actually handhold your journey, towards perfect pranayam. That, okay, you're not able to do it, start with this, do this rounds, and then open up your nostrils and go step by step. So followed by pre-pranayam practices. After that, we will be doing some dynamic breaths because we want to kind of vitalize our body. So we'll be doing some dynamic breathing practices like Kapalbhati, Bhastrika, and some more variations of it, lot of variations of it that we'll be doing. Okay. Then we'll be doing, since we have aroused energy, then we will be doing some balancing breath and Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam, which means that we want to, remember the first point I mentioned, we want to cleanse our pathways from where the prana is flowing. And we have to balance the energy. Now, in our theory class, I'm also going to cover that what are these energies and what are these nadis and which nadi is physical and mental, how are we balancing body mind. So it is a big science of it. We're going to discuss that as well. So balancing breath is going to balance our body and mind, and plus nadi shodhan means it's going to cleanse our nadi so that prana can flow nicely into it and blockages can be removed. So we're going to do some balancing breath, and towards the end we are going to do the relaxation breathing. Okay, now these are versatile breathing like Ujjayi, Brahmari, and much more. So apart from what we know from yoga, there are more modifications of each which improves our capacity of the lungs and overall has wonderful benefit on the mental health as well, followed by a nice systematic relaxation technique. So this will be the flow of our class. And sometimes the theory will be in the beginning to understand the practice that is being followed, or sometimes you practice first and then we will be doing some of the theory to clarify your doubts. So this is how the flow will be of the whole practice. So before I end today, I want to give away something amazing technique that you all have to do. Whether you join the course or you don't join the course, but this takeaway is extremely important of mindful breath, which is called as stop. Okay, S-T-O-P, stop. Okay, so what does the S stand for? S stands for stop whatever you're doing whenever you are busy. Okay, this is a mindful breath technique that will save you from host of pains and aches and diseases in the body because it is going to develop your awareness. So S stands for stop. Okay, stop whatever you are doing. Second is T. T stands for take a breath and come to a present moment. Breathing brings you in a present moment. Did you observe in the beginning and the middle? When I asked you to just observe your breath, naturally what happens is mind gets a break. Otherwise, what we are doing, either we are planning what we have to do or we are crying over what has happened before. So either we are in the past or future most of the time. But breath has a power to bring us in the present moment, which is so important for our healing and wellness. So take a breath and come to a present moment. O, S-T-O. O stands for observe. Observe things happening, notice things happening inside and outside of us. For example, when we are busy, when I practice this stop breathing, what I observed is sometimes I have taken a lot of stress on my shoulders because I'm working. Then when I observe, I realize, and then I have a chance to relax it. Imagine if I'm constantly working with holding tension on my shoulder and neck, obviously over few years, I'm going to get frozen shoulder issue, spondylitis, upper back stiffness, and all the problems are going to come to me because I never paid attention to it. But when I do this stop practice, okay, I take a break and I realize, oh, I'm holding unnecessary tension here. Let me just relax it. Like I move and I am conscious about it and it's gone. So it's better. Okay? And P means proceed. Proceed to what you are doing. So doing this stop practice frequently is an amazing way of getting yourself in the present moment and actually saving yourself from the host of pains and aches that can come due to our busy lifestyles. So please try to do this stop mindful breaths whenever possible. In fact, you can set some alarms in your phone. I know one of the yoga ashrams in the West and some of the corporate offices have adopted this practice where they ring a bell at frequent hours in a day. And whenever the bell is rung, everybody stops in the house or in the office or in the ashram there. And everybody stops and do this. Observe. Okay, tension, release, come to the present moment, relax, and then start working again. This is so essential. So try to follow this at your home, share this idea with your family, and trust me, you'll be doing very good to yourself and them as well. Okay. So I'm done for today. A lot is coming in the course. I encourage for those who have registered, you're most welcome. For those who still are thinking, please don't think about your health. We don't think much when we want to order some parcel from Swiggy, Zomato, or go out in the restaurant. We just end up, if tongue is asking something, we have it on the phone call. But when it comes to our health, God knows why we think so much. Why we think, I don't understand that. So make right investments in your life. so that you remain healthy for yourself and you're more productive for others in your family around you. So our course is starting from 27th of August till 25th of September. I'm sure you're part of the group, all of you, and you will get the details on it. For those who are on already the course, you will keep getting notes from me, so don't worry about it. We will be sharing some notes and homeworks, and many things are coming your way to study, refer. I'll give you some reference books also to read more deeper on the breath part. So we all will definitely do it. Okay. So I'm open up I will open up this class for question answers. If anybody has any doubts, something is on the chat box here. Is it possible to change the timing to 8 or 9 in the morning or in the evening? Okay, Hasmukh, I'll speak to our authorities and whoever has fixed this slot, and we can get back to you. But most likely, considering various reasons, we have kept this time because we have to also take some theory every time and not just practice. So still we will get back to you and put in the group if there are any possibilities of that. Or registered participants will also have access to recordings. However, I personally don't like much recordings. Nobody watches it. It's like not so enthusiastic as the live class. However, if you're still keen and the timing is not changing, maybe I will recommend you be sincere with the recordings, hear it like a live class, and you can still get the benefits of it. Okay. Sangeeta ji, we haven't done anything, but still you're feeling light and good. Imagine when we will actually get into the pranayam practices, you'll be flying. Okay, thank you, Smita ji, for your inspiring words, all of you. Okay, if anybody has any question or doubt, I am happy to address it regarding the course, or if you have any questions, if you want to ask anything. Okay, looks like all of you are already convinced about the power of breath. So, okay, so some of you are saying about revised timings. We will check and get back on this for sure. Sure, Radhika ji. Okay, thank you, everyone. Kuntal ji, thank you so much. See, lockdown, you made the best use of lockdown. That was a time we also got online. Otherwise, we were not taking a lot of online classes. So that's amazing. Hasmukh ji, yes, Hasmukh ji, I remember you. Okay, now I remembered you. He had attended a class during COVID. So thank you so much for coming back. And we have lots to learn this time, much better and more. Okay. Perfect. Then I guess everybody's super clear and looks like I will take a little pride to appreciate that nobody has a doubt, because breath should not have a doubt. It's with us and we just have to work with it for everything. So even for some of the doubts that I got offline, once I was like seeing the WhatsApp group, was even if you have any conditions like asthma, respiratory disorders, you are into post-COVID phase, don't worry. Your program is still going to benefit you equally. Even if you have spondylitis, back pain, etc., we're going to work through our asanas on that as well. So no problem. We're going to get a lot of tools and tricks and modifications for your condition, personalized attention to your disorders and breath work for it. So no worries, even if you have some conditions, breathing is equal to all. It's very fair to all, no problem at all. Yes, no problem. Yes, even somebody struggling with mental health can also join. Absolutely. Only if they're keen right now to know the theory also. Like, theory and practice will be also there, but we're just not doing a practice. We'll be discussing theory. So whoever you're recommending this course, tell them that it's also a proper theory sessions. I don't like to just take practice classes where person is not convinced about why they're doing what they're doing. So whoever you are recommending, which I recommended, please invite your friends also. Instead of giving some random gifts, which has a very less shelf life, gifting them some course like this or gifting them something like this is an amazing idea. Recommending also. So I also recommend you to, tell your friends and family members to join this, because it's easy. I know many people have reservations with yoga movements and they think they're not flexible, they are aged or whatever. You all can still do yoga asanas too. I know that, but people have reservations for yoga. But for breathing, let's not stop. Let's invite anyone, golden age people above 60, teenagers, youngsters, whoever is interested in investing their health, everybody can do it. So please recommend with any condition also, we can always modify. Great then. I think if there are no questions, I'll wait for 1 minute more. If any questions are there or any comments, you can also unmute yourself. Thank you so much, everyone, for your inspiring words. For some of you were asking if this recording, yes, this is already going live on YouTube right now. So on our Govardhan School of Yoga channel, you will get to hear the entire recording also. Great, then I'm super inspired by your enthusiastic participation. Thank you very much. I want to see you live very soon now next week and jumpstart our journey of wellness and healing through breath. Okay. Today, throughout the week, try to practice stop breathing as much as you can, mindful breaths, and try to work. This is a homework for those who are joining the course. Do your conscious breathing practice as regularly as possible so that the foundation is right. The breath pattern will get quite corrected before we jump into other practices. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna, everyone. See you soon.